Hi, I'm Ashley Robato.
And I'm Dr. Carolyn Meister.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about the inner critic, our self-judge, and how that can show up for us in our bodies, in this inner voice, and how that can impact our ability to speak out and show up authentically in the world.
Yeah, this is a fun subject because we just talked about this last week. We got in on one of our friends' podcasts, and I got to go first, and then Ashley went. It's Yoga Teacher Chats with Ashley. And so when I went, and I was happy to do it. I felt great. It was talking to a friend, right? So it was easy. But then playing it back, I heard a lot of ums, likes, and ands. And I thought to myself, ew, I don't want to listen to myself. And that's hard for me to admit. So, as I am just honest with my friend Ashley and our other friend Ashley, I said to myself, I'm going to text them and I'm going to let them know this is something I struggle with because I want it to be an intention in my life that I can open up about. So I audio messaged them and we all just kind of had this kumbaya moment, which was really great of like, I feel that way too. Oh, I struggle with that as well. And it's really hard to listen to yourself and not be judging and critical. And so after that, Ashley's episode came out.
Yeah, I remember listening to yours and I was just like, this is so incredible. Like, these two women are doing an amazing job. And to hear you say that, it just also made me reflect as I'm listening back to my episode this week. And the first things that I'm hearing are, like, and oh, I'm saying that too much. And it's like, oh, that's my own like inner critic and judge showing up and just kind of affirming that like we are way more harsh and critical of ourselves oftentimes than other people ever are of us. And just kind of recognizing that and acknowledging that. And like even when we recorded our first like course for expansion therapy, I remember like playing back my video and I hated it so much. And I was like, I look ridiculous, like I'm not looking at the camera enough, or I'm blinking too much, or all of these things. But then eventually I was like, you know what? You just need to like release that a little bit and be okay with not being like perfect. And like that perfectionist like showing up for me and kind of being illuminated sometimes when I have to listen to myself back or watch myself back on video and just learning to accept and be okay with like the imperfections and just being like that's where you are right now. That's exactly where you're supposed to be and you're growing and you're learning and this is like part of the journey. And in a world that is like showing up like so curated, it's really refreshing to witness people just showing up authentically as their messy selves.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's so hard because perfectionism wins a lot of the time, or at least like kind of like crawls on our back a little bit and is like, hello. Um, and I always think of it as tunnel vision. And I imagine my fascia also doing this, where like we cue in and we just scope in on our imperfections. The way that I just said and like, right? You're like almost funneling into that energy and you are just sticking on it. And it's really hard to at that point to zoom out and be like, I'm not hearing the ums, ands, or likes. So it just becomes harder. And I think our nervous system also reflects that when we are hyper focused on something or we're really judging ourselves or criticizing ourselves about this one thing, you'll notice your body gets tense and it kind of zeroes in. It also has that feeling as well. And so it's interesting to feel this in us because it can kind of come from anywhere, but we like to think it comes from kind of the area of the throat, the heart, and the solar plexus, just because throat is restricted due to this judgment and this criticism of like, I don't sound good, so therefore I cannot express myself openly. And then the heart is like, love myself, right? I'm not gonna zero in onto this part that I don't like so much about myself that I have to nitpick at. And then the solar plexus also gets affected because of the feelings of like, nobody look at me. If I'm going to sound like that, I don't want you looking at me. And so we see a lot of chest tightness fascially. We see a lot of that diaphragm restriction, that the intercostal tightness, the shrugging of the shoulders, the drawing in, just kind of like neck coming down like a turtle. This is what we tend to see when there is a lot of judgment and criticism that someone feels like they're just mucking through.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it perfectly. Those are absolutely the places where it's like, you know, even if you're like going to do something and like share your voice and speak out or something that maybe makes you a little bit more uncomfortable, I feel like these are the places where we really feel that vulnerability in our body. And I mean, the best way to counter it is to, you know, kind of be scared and do it anyway. You know, like even though I maybe didn't enjoy the way that I sounded on every single thing. You know, maybe I'm zeroing in, I'm like, dang, you know, giving myself a little self-love and being like, you said that really well. And that was a really
Yeah.
awesome point that you made there. And if you hadn't done that or accepted that opportunity, you wouldn't have got to share that with the world. And even if it wasn't perfect, like I'm still going to tell people about it. I'm still going to put myself out there and let them listen to it. And if they judge me, they judge me, you know, and being okay and confident with myself enough to share and express and open myself up to other people's thoughts and my own.
Yeah, and still be okay, right? That's
Yes.
like I'm open to this, but like no matter the outcome, I'm still me. And
Oh,
I that has been hard for me to accept. And this is why I love talking to you so much because we just ping pong when we do ping pong over each other, like we it just melts so nicely. But like thinking about just taking the time for ourselves and being there with ourselves and self-love, and not worrying about what other people do is important to your self-criticism and your self-judgments and constantly being like, I am okay regardless of what this person thinks of me. And I am still this person. For me, that looked like just because I'm saying the ums, ands, and likes, or if I forget a thought or something, doesn't mean that what I'm saying is not true and actually very helpful to people. And I know that I'm on the right path. And I know you and I are on the right path. And so even if we come out weird or awkward or whatever that looks like, we're doing it. And tomorrow's going to be an easier day for us and to the next day. And we're just going to keep doing the things that we know are going to change so many women's lives. And yeah, it's going to feel weird and judgy and critical, like I'm trying to release those too, but it's like, whoa, every time I jump out of that comfort zone and I get a little, you know, a little ungrounded, I know where we're going. I know we like how what we do matters to people, especially women. And I'm so excited. I'm like so excited. And I'm like, just keep going. I know
there's
it.
so much, yeah, there's so much realness in just doing the thing. And what was interesting is when you shared that voice message, both myself and other Ashley were like, yeah, me too, girl. And so like just being able to like share that opens up the conversation and then you don't feel so isolated and alone. And just knowing that other people feel similar struggles to you. So like surrounding yourself with other people that are trying to like do the things and that lift you up and that are there to be like, hey, like it's okay if if you stumble because I got you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And that's really cool. It's really hard to do because you have to learn discernment of who are those people and like you have to give them some of your trust so that they can give you some of theirs. And that's like such a beautiful, fun thing. So it becomes building relationships and building the relationships ultimately release the throat chakra and release all of these and release the heart, and release the solar plexus because you're like, I've got you and you've got me. And like that means that I also have myself because if I can have everyone around me, the first person I have is me.
Oh,
Yay.
beautiful. Should we move into the release or is there anything else that you want to add?
No, that was lovely.
All right. So we're going to do a nice release to kind of open up the chest and the throat a little bit today. So if you've got like turtleneck or anything that's covering your neck, you will probably want to remove that so you can have some skin to skin contact. So you're going to place your hands kind of over this sternum area and you're going to pull down slightly. You're going to take your chin and you're going to tuck it in a little bit there. And then as you keep that chin tuck and that downward pressure on the sternum, you're going to allow the neck and head to fall back. And you should feel kind of an opening through the front of the throat, the platysma muscles, if you really want to get anatomical. And you can hold that there. Kind of take some deep breaths. Maybe feel that breath coming all the way up underneath the chin, into that neck, opening up that heart space and throat space. And then after you've had enough, release that. And we're going to keep that same hand hold on the chest. And for the next one, we're actually going to jut our chin out like we have something really important to say. We want everybody to hear it. Yes, good demonstration, Carolyn. And then from there, from that jutted position, we're also going to allow the head to rock back. And you're going to feel, I feel like in a super intense stretch underneath my neck and throat, as you can tell, because it's making my voice a little strained.
Yeah, girl. Me too. I don't know what I was saying right now.
You might need some third chakra opening. This will do it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
got up into my jaw.
Oh, I know. So intense. So I
Hmm.
hope you enjoyed that movement moment and our discussion today on the inner critic. We'll see you guys next time.